I believe that reviewing a video like this is very delicate. That's why I do these little intros before I actually talk about what I'm talking about. I think they're very important. It's very important to treat this very delicately. You have to do it the right way. But I'm an entertainer, right? I'm trying to entertain people. I'm also trying to educate, though. I don't want it to be just a slanderous thing, right? So I'm not going to treat this like it's a slanderous thing. I'm not poning anybody. Nobody's pwned me. We're just talking. We're exchanging ideas. We're doing psychological research on each other. Because so far, no conversation's been had. Right? What we have is what we have in front of us. And we choose to dissect it in the manner that we choose to dissect it. And I'm going to choose to dissect this thusly. I'm going to be very delicate here. Alright? I want to say a few things right off the bat. So far, not counting what I've already recorded, the video already stands at 41 minutes and 54 seconds. Now, you guys have said to me repeatedly that you don't like when I do parts. And other people have said, I like when you do parts. Because of the fact that this is an extremely long video, and I would like to get this out today, I am not doing parts. You get in the whole movie. This is me reviewing this person reviewing my video where I reviewed this other video. The movie. Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. Right? This is what we're doing here. So, I fucking know it's going to be a long-ass movie. This is it. We've all decided that we're going to sit for this long. Or not. You can watch it in parts. You can sit down and watch it 5 minutes at a clip if you want to. Just saying. That being said, through the course of this, I want you guys to always know this. I have nothing but the utmost respect for this person. Right? I have nothing but the utmost respect for all the people that I review. Unless they have earned my disrespect by saying something as, some crimes are okay because I just think they're wrong. That you kind of lose my respect when you throw that out on YouTube. This person, not like that. This person, I would say, is I adore this person. I honestly do. And I want to treat this very delicately. So I'm laying all of this out up front. It's like a unicorn. You don't want to spook it. You just want to touch it just for a brief second. Catching lightning in a bottle is what this could be. Oh! This could be amazing. Just think of the implications of it. Two smart people pitched in a battle of wits. It could be amazing. It could be the nice blood sports. We could do it. We could. We totally could. It'd be great. I really think we have a possibility of doing something amazing here. I just want to say that right off the bat. So I want to treat this very delicately. And I want everybody to understand what's going on here. Right? I am now speaking to you as Andy. Just the fucking me. I'm not turning my hat the other way or doing anything like that because honestly, this is me. But like, I'm telling you that any character that I may exude or whatever, I'm dropping all that shit. I'm letting you know that this is from the fucking heart here. I really like this person. Like not like in that way. I like her mindset. I like where she's at. It's perfect for me. You're my doctoral thesis. Oh, I see nothing but possibilities with you. I think you're an amazing person. And I want to continue to have a dialogue with you. So I'm going to treat this very delicately. But I'm running a YouTube channel here, right? And I think that we both have the possibility, maybe, some ideas don't pan out the way you think they might on YouTube. It's the way it goes. And I've seen your content, and I've seen your channel, and I see what's going on. And I think that you have a real possibility of spicing shit up a lot. And man, that's how you get traction. Just saying. Doesn't always work. But if we don't bullshit it and we do it right, Oh, it could be beautiful. Just saying. So, but I'm here to entertain as well. I'm trying to run a YouTube channel, right? You know, like I would love to do this as a job. I think that would be great, and I think it's possible. Even still, I think it's possible. And I think this could help both of us. Very much. Because we could do it right. We have the chance. We have the past to look at. We have Bearing and Christy Winters. We can look at them and go, that's not the way to do it. We're going to do it better. And we can do that. I'm laying all this out up front. Exposing the whole secret scheme. Right? I am a James Bond villain. Right before I put you in the death machine, I'm telling you my master plan. Because nobody will remember this shit. Everybody will forget about this shit. This could be it, man. This could be it. Just think about it. Do your research. You're a smart cookie. I know you are. Look up Bearing and Christy Winters and see what they did to each other and go, ooh. They got big and popular in their own ways, but man, we could do that so much better. Know that we could do it so much better. We could really actually do something here. Right. But yeah, alright, so that all being said, I'm going to treat this very delicately. I'm trying to be funny. I'm just teasing you. Please don't take this personally. I am not attacking you as a person. I am looking at you as an example. You have a scientific mind. You've expressed that many times in your video. Think of this scientifically. That's the way I work. Right? The video that I'm about to watch is my subject matter. And I do not want my subject matter to be fouled by outside sources. I want to keep it pure. So I only look at the video. That's it. I don't speak to the person. I don't care who the person is. You're very different. You're a very special person. But I am not going to be addressing you as a person. I'm just going to be pointing at you as an example. And that doesn't sound good. But how the fuck do I say what I'm trying to mean here? There's only so many ways to describe things in the English language. To me, you're the video that I'm reviewing. And take that for what that is. I am not trying to attack you. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help everybody. And I think this is a beautiful thing. This is something I want. This is something I need. Interaction. On an intellectual, I need to be challenged. And oh, this is challenging. I'm so excited. And I think this could be great. I think we can really, oh man, I think we can have some fun with this. I think we can have some fun with this. Fuck everything else. What happens, happens. Let's have fun with this. It's like the Indians. Every year that they're really into it and they're thinking, oh, we gotta win, man, we gotta win. They suck. And every year they're like, fuck it, we're just gonna go out and play ball, man. They crush it. We're just having fun here. We're teasing each other. You tease me a little bit too. But I sensed some personal things going on there. Cut that shit out. It's gotta go. We're just having fun here. Just messing around. That's it. I'm gonna live a life that is just terribly misunderstood, and I just ruin everything. But man, I can't help myself. I gotta do it.
Well, hello everyone.
You have a moon on your forehead.
This video was requested by one of my viewers, Wonder in Art.
Wonder in Art. Thank you.
And let me just tell you, it was kind of interesting, so let's take a look.
Yeah. I think this is a golden opportunity to point out the sickness that all of you women have. Now, see, you take that shit out of context, and it was brilliant. It was nice. That right there, I was like, I don't even care that she has a moon on her forehead. She's got some chops to her. This could be interesting. It's very slick. It's a very good move, but it's very entertaining. I was very entertained by that cut. That's a good cut. I like that cut, man. This is what I'm saying. We gotta treat this very delicately. She's a keeper.
Okay, so for the purposes of this video, I cut down this particular video a little bit because
it has been edited. Right? She's admitting it's been edited. If there was any deceptive editing going on, this would be a very different video. Right? So, we all understand if that shit happened, I'd say something about it, right? Didn't happen. The times that it's happened, I know. I watched my video. I know where it happened. And I'm saying she's good. She's clean. Everybody's good. We're all good here. But it is edited. She admits.
it was slightly longer than...
Yeah, sorry about that. I talk a lot.
I would like to include in this video, but I think that I put the gist of the message in the video, and
you did a beautiful job. You still have a moon on your forehead, though.
I actually found it quite amusing.
Did you hear it? Amusing? That's the sickness.
According to this video, we women have what this gentleman would like to call the sickness.
She'll know. I'm gonna play that back for you one more time. She'll know. You don't know yet, but she'll know.
The sickness. The sickness. The sickness.
But like, okay, I played it 3 more times, but that was her edit of the song and stuff, and I just fucked with it that little bit.
And you know, I always try to go into things with an open mind, and
when you clip the ends of those words, open mind, and don't take it personal, please.
The sickness.
Okay, I forgot that edit. I forgot that joke. It's not important.
While not everything might be particularly on par with you know, us women and how we do things and what we think, I did kind of
put a moon on your forehead. Like, I don't know what's going on. I haven't seen any of her other videos. I've seen the titles of some of her other videos, so I know what kind of content she does, and that might be a thing. But maybe I can cure her of that. Maybe I can pull her out of the abyss. I don't know, but I'm willing to try, and I think it'll be easy. Very, very easy. I can do it. I've done it before. I can help you. I can get you out of that shit. And we can talk about far more important and lofty issues than that shit. But the moon, like, everybody got their thing. I know. I got my things. You see the background, the slew of things that I've got. But, like,
find it a little amusing, so let's just take a look and see if we can break some of this down.
Alright. First of all, I just wanted to do that because it's going to be very funny here in 1 second. I want you to take a moment to relax. I want you to understand This isn't personal. I'm trying to help you, right?
Okay, so I am back. I
cannot thank you enough for removing the moon. I truly can't. And that will be a thing. I'm gonna ask you, please help me out. The moon. I just can't be serious with the moon. I'm sorry. I can't. It's on your forehead. I can't help but see it.
I'm not dressed up. I don't have a setup right now because I tried to film this yesterday and I realized that
You had a moon on your forehead. And you were like, this guy's talking about serious shit. Gotta get rid of the moon. I mean, I'm not saying give up your shtick. I'm not. I'm not. I'm just saying, like, there's a time to drop the shtick. Shit, even I know that. I love my shtick.
the train of thought in this video is so random that it was really hard to try to break down, so
I can't help it. I go off on tangents and I forget my point. I get lost. I'm sorry. I can't help it.
back and I'm attempting to try to make some sense out of this timeline here of thoughts, so
I try, you know. I do try. Damn it.
Let's try to power through.
Power through? Man. I have feelings, you know. The best way that I've found to point out the sickness to women, right, is to do it as a friend. If a woman's being sick in front of you, you can't look at her and go, you're being sick. You gotta stop. It shit doesn't work, right? She edits out the curse words. I'm fine with that. And honestly, here's the thing that I'm gonna say right now, right? She edits out the curse words. She shouldn't have to, right? I curse a lot, and she wants to keep her channel clean. I'm fine with that. I respect that. And all you have to do, Valeda, I'm sorry that I haven't really said your name. It's like Valeda. I don't really know how to pronounce it, but it's Valeda something. I will give you a good plug. Dumb son of a bitch. Hold up. Valeda Mystico. Valda Mystico. Valeda Mystico. Mystico. Valda Mystico. I don't know. I think that's... I didn't see the thumbnail. I just went to the straight link out of the comments. That's a cute thumbnail. She's thinking about me. Aw. Anyways, so yeah, Valeda Mystico. That's her channel. Valeda Mystico. Mystico. Valeda. I'm hoping it's Valeda. Son of a bitch. But what was I saying? See, man, and that's how it happens. And now I'm fucking editing out the fucking things because I mixed shit around and now they just messed up. And I get all distracted and I don't fucking remember what I was talking about. Valeda Mystico, everybody. Oh yeah. So yeah, anyways, that's where I was. That's what I was saying. Very important point. I can't move on. Anyways. She shouldn't have to do that. She shouldn't have to edit the fucking things. Now, for the next rest of this clip, I'm going to edit it the way that I would edit it if I was editing the curse words out. Now, the reason I'm doing this is so that you guys will see value in it. If she chooses to, like, work with me, review videos that I do, say, if she says in the comments, hey, can you clean this up for me so that I can review it, there will be a day where you will get a video that is a clean edit. And that will be your video for the day, because that will take me a good portion of the night. So, just saying, that may happen in the future. Now, the reason why I'm going to edit this next bit the way that I would edit it is so that you will see value in it, because it's going to be funny. Comedy channel, so I'm going to do it to be funny. And this is where you'll see the value in it of a possible rewatch someday in the future of a clean version of a video, so that I can help her out, so that we can have a discourse, right? Because she shouldn't have to go through the effort. It's a pain in the ass to do that editing. I know what it's like. I've done clean edits before. It sucks so bad. You shouldn't have to go through that. I curse a whole lot. I'm really sorry about that. But anyways, so this is the way I would edit it. It was me. They don't recognize it that way. You got to get them to see it first. You can't do that crud right out of the gate. So, the best way to point out the sickness is when other women are being sick. And it's blatantly obvious that they're just being sick. And you can't deny it. Because you're looking at those crazy bitches going, well, I ain't like those crazy bitches. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Alright, so see, like I do like the old fucking TNT edit. Remember where, shit, what was it? Die Hard, when you said yippee-ki-yay motherfuckers, and they turned it into melon farmers? I do that kind of stuff, because I think that's hysterical. So, it's not, that was a poor clip to do it in. You can't really hear the fruit very well. Usually I have it to where it's drawn out. I do a much better job with the editing on it, if I really you know, work at it. But this is already, it's already 5 o'clock. This is gonna take me all night. So yeah, there you go.
Okay, so here, this is a valid point. It would be in nobody's best interest to look at a woman or probably another person and say, hey, you are being a crazy person and you should cut that out. That never usually ends well for anyone. But the problem that I'm having in trying to follow this video is it has yet to be stated what quote-unquote the sickness is. So I'm still trying to figure out the correct definition of the sickness, which hasn't really been mentioned yet.
See, here's the thing. I'm laying the groundwork. I'm setting this all up, very much like I've done the entirety of the video up to this point. I'm setting shit up, alright? I want everybody to understand where I'm coming from, alright? Because I see this as a very sensitive subject, right? I'm taking this very seriously. That's why I'm revving up to it. I'm an entertainer. That's what I'm trying to do here. I have to tell you why this video makes me so nervous.
But he really doesn't. He just kind of diverts the subject to a comedian.
See? You just didn't understand. That's why it made me so nervous. Look, alright. Patrice O'Neal. I say in the video, you'll hear it soon, I see him as a great fucking person. He's a great thinker. He had amazing perspectives and points of view. And he's gone. Unfortunately, he is gone. He passed away. And we don't have him anymore. We don't have his perspective anymore. And I am a student of Patrice. And I try, at the very least, I mean, there are a lot of ways that I disagreed with him. But on the subject of women, I couldn't agree more with him about every fucking word that came out of his mouth on the subject. So I became kind of a disciple. It was a way to wrap my mind around women, to figure out how they work and to understand why they are the way they are. It gave me a deeper understanding of women. It really, really did. It made me get you guys to a degree. And that's a lot. So I see this as a very important thing. I see this as a very deep subject. This is possibility of the curing of the differences between men and women. If only we understood each other a little bit, maybe we'd get along better. I see this as very important. I'm very nervous doing this kind of video because I'm trying to elicit exactly this response. I'm throwing out bait here. I'm trying to get somebody to take it and run with it and look at it and go, let's seriously talk about it. It makes me very nervous because I'm trying to use fucking Patrice philosophy to do this shit. But it works. It makes so much sense. You just have to get past it's from a comedian, you know what I mean? It's a very delicate subject, and it's very important. That's why it makes me so nervous. But I want you guys to understand what I'm trying to say. That's why I threw in the Patrice thing, and I did it horribly. Like, looking back at it, I'm like, oh my God, that's why I hate. Like, after a while, I don't mind watching my videos the same night that I make them, but after a while, I'm like, oh no, I wish I would have said that instead.
In order to try to understand better, you know, I like to do my homework, so not only did I watch this clip, but I did watch a bunch of videos with Patrice O'Neal, and I found him to be a pretty funny guy.
Now, I'm amusing. Patrice is a funny guy. And that's why I'm bringing in Patrice. That's why I'm entering him into your life. So that you will do exactly that. Look into it and fucking think about it. And consider what he's saying to you. Don't look into his stand-up, though. Look into the Black Phillip show. Look into that. Do your research there. Man, that is where it is at. Black Phillip. Subscribe to the Cult of Black Phillip. You can find them in my subscribe to channels. Way deep in there because I subscribed to them long ago.
I mean, he is outrageous, and that's the kind of, you know, comedy that he did. And I, for one, am a fan of that kind of comedy. I don't tend to get offended.
I'm going to put that statement to the test. Don't take it personal. Don't get offended, please. It's not what I'm trying to do here.
It is kind of directed towards women in the way that women act, and I mean, he does make valid points.
I just think if Patrice was here today, and if there was any possible way that I knew who he was, or like that he knew who I was, or whatever, like if we ever had any sort of interaction with each other, I would send him this clip of as he would call her, this white girl saying that she agrees with him, and I honestly think, I don't think it would be this much. I don't think it would be this good, but I do love this reaction.
I might get her one of those, you can take that thing, you can say she can
Oh, I miss that man.
Even if I don't agree with everything all the time, I do like when somebody can display something in a funny manner. And I kind of found this.
There were a lot of jump cuts there. You don't really do a lot of jump cuts. I wonder what was said that was cut out in a funny manner. I heard that. That's sickness.
Clip pretty humorous, so let's just go ahead and take a look at it.
You think he wants to see you?
For timing purposes, because this is already an extremely long video, this is going to be a doozy. I'm cutting the fucking bit out. I know, it sucks, but I'm cutting the bit out. Sorry.
I would throw something in the garbage just so I can blame her for stealing it.
Again, full disclosure, I found it kind of funny. Just saying.
I absolutely adore her.
But I think what he is trying to express in this particular clip is that
The women are sick.
women tend to have, I guess, a certain narrative in their mind of things that they expect from everyone else around them, and that seems to be a theme in a lot of his comedy.
The sickness, that's what we call it. Yes, it's just a term. Like, I knew the whole thing with the sickness, man, and that's why I think he started calling it the sickness, because he knew that it would be one of those things that'd stop you up short and make you go, I don't like the way that sounds. Because you're sick.
And I can't necessarily say that I disagree.
So she can't necessarily say that she disagrees. I win.
But where I think I differ on this subject is I don't think that it is every woman, and I don't think that it is exclusive to women.
I disagree. And I agree.
So to blanket and say that all women do something, I don't think that that is fair. And to state that something like that is exclusive to women, I also don't think that that is fair, because I have dated a number of men that, you know, have the same qualities. So I think that
you've dated a lot of bitches. We'll get into describing further bitches later on when it actually comes up, but it sounds to me like you've been with a lot of bitches. Just saying.
You know, sometimes women are more emotional by nature, but I can assure you that I've dealt with a number of males that display these same types of features, or I guess sickness, if you will.
Exactly. It's like, you get it. They act like bitches. They act like sick women. Bitches. They act like sick women, right? So, they're men acting like sick women. They're bitches. Like, it's... But it's still women's sickness. It's still that fucking sickness. And that sickness is just an amorphous catch-all term. That's the thing of it. It's that shit. I used to call it that shit. There's that shit. That used to be what I used to say. I think I actually used to say that in videos. But now I like the sickness. I like calling it the sickness. It makes more sense, because you can cure sickness. That shit is just fucking... Even after you wash it away, it still smells like shit. You know what I mean? And I want to cure the sickness. So we have to think of it like that. Because it is beatable. We can win.
Next we move on to a clip of a morning show broadcast that I guess was done in the UK. And I think that this is kind of where the video starts to take a turn. And it's a little harder to comment on, because...
Because what?
While I agree that the anchors, or, you know, whatever you would call them on a morning show, are being completely ridiculous, the guy that they're interviewing is kind of an...
There's that sickness. I'll wait till a more eloquent time to describe it to you, but there's that sickness.
So to use this video to point out... a scenario in which people are displaying the quote-unquote sickness is a little harder to break down and analyze, because I feel like if the person that was being verbally attacked was a little more reputable of an individual...
Look, that's why I'm looking at the video I'm looking at. I don't care about the people involved. I don't care who those ladies are. I don't really care about Pierce Morgan at all, right? I know a little bit about Pierce Morgan, and that comes into the play. And I don't like that fact. I like to go into shit pure. I want to be pure about it all. I don't look at his videos when I'm going to talk about him being attacked, because he was being attacked by people. It doesn't matter how bad of a person he was. He didn't do anything to any of these people. From what I saw, he stated an observation. You might not think he's a good person for doing that, but it doesn't change the fact that he just stated his observation. That's it. That's all he did. And he was attacked for that. And that's wrong. Sick people do that shit. But that's why I didn't watch his videos. That's why I didn't watch the clip that they watched before the whole thing. They didn't include it. I wasn't interested. I wanted to look at the scenario that was happening as it played out in front of me. That was what I was dissecting psychologically. I didn't want my experiment tainted. You tainted your experiment with your sickness.
Then it would have fared better in trying to prove this point. But let's just go ahead and take a look at it.
Look, man, I will, if you've got a good video that you think would be difficult for me to dissect and point out the sickness in, you send it my way. And I will prove you wrong. Because you're all sick.
Felicity, is your blood boiling? Yes, I'm almost so angry I can't talk, actually.
But are you just moaning all the time?
Well, that's one of those things about one of those criticisms, right? It's like saying somebody can't take criticism. It's very difficult to come back from that.
Yeah.
So, she sets that up brilliantly. I will say that. It's like saying somebody can't take criticism. How do you come back from that? Right? Now, there is a way to come back from that. Right? You can attack the criticism's point of view, or whatever. Perspective, logic, strain, whatever it is you need to unravel that criticism as being nothing but bullshit. Right? It should be exceedingly easy to do, considering you're of the opinion that that opinion is bullshit, right? Should be easy then.
Okay, so watching this part of the video, I had to actually go back and see if I could pull up more of a clip from this particular broadcast.
Taint your experiment. Why?
Because it felt like there was maybe something that I was missing or something that was left off, and what happened right before they started into this segment was that they had played a clip from this quote-unquote love guru, and he had mentioned that the women in UK were overweight and entitled and they moaned all the time, so that is where that criticism comes in, where she is saying, how do you come back from that kind of criticism, because now anything that I say will sound like moaning.
I do like that she gives you the little context words. That's very nice.
But I would agree that the proper way to handle any kind of criticism is to attack the point of view as he is saying. It makes you seem a lot more intelligent if you do your research and you can come back with a, rational opposite point of view and use facts and not just I guess, get upset and start attacking the other person with a bunch of things that aren't related to the issue.
She gets it. Well, what does she do? Let's let sickness take over and speak for her. Listen.
Answer for it. That's great.
I haven't got an answer about being entitled and overweight.
You don't?
Well, no, I think being entitled is blaming your lack of relationship success on an entire nation.
Let's get one thing straight. Just from the evidence that we see in front of us, all right? On the bottom ticker, it says dating guru. Guru is generally considered a master of something, right? In certain regions of the world. So, he's a guru in dating, right? Now he's on the news, and she just flat out assumes that he's had problems with dating women in Britain, and that is why he is saying the things that he is saying.
So a few things wrong here. A morning show is not exactly a newscast, which Egocast has since come out and made another video stating that he realizes that it wasn't exactly the news.
Look, you got my point, right? The man's on TV. He said some things. And so many people got upset by those things that he is on the fucking TV to talk about it, right? You have to admit it's ridiculous that the fact that I said the news instead of morning show in any way changes the fact that the man is regarded by somebody at least as an expert in the field that he has chosen to study. The word news. You got what I was saying though, right? Like that is ultimately yeah, I was wrong. You got me. It wasn't the news, but Jesus Christ, you got what I was saying, right?
And yes, while this guy is on a television show and he was asked to come there, and I guess he is successful in his dating business, I don't know if that makes him a flat-out expert on the subject, but what I'm seeing wrong in this interaction is the redirect of, you say that I'm entitled, but I think you're entitled because you are just mad and blaming the UK because you didn't have any success here. When if she would have done fact-checking, she would have seen that it wasn't a lack of success, it was a lack of interest. Now, not saying that...
Man, she gets it!
I particularly agree that because he couldn't find anybody there, that it warrants him saying a lot of nasty things, but again, I guess that is just...
Nasty things. Look, if somebody's overweight, it isn't nasty to say they're overweight. It's an observation. You take it as nasty because it isn't entirely nice to go, that person's overweight. But if you're describing what you observed in women in a place, and if what you observed in women in that certain place is most of them were overweight, isn't really nasty. You're just kind of pointing out that you thought most of them were overweight. It's the sickness that makes you think it's nasty.
His opinion, but a good argument to this might have been to see, what the statistics are on overweight women and, to find some kind of factual argument against that, but
you're never going to find that. There is no statistic that has been researched and analyzed that will disprove that man's opinion. Because the only statistics that matter in the forming of his opinion are the statistics that he came up with when he went out and walked the streets of the UK and observed a lot of women here are overweight. And the really pretty ones aren't from here. This is what I've seen. There's no way that you can research anything that's going to disprove that. Because that's what he's saying. He found. Like, you can go out there and go, well, I found this many who were very attractive. But that's, what's attractive to you might not be attractive to him. So, we're arguing over some objective shit that's an opinion.
Jumping to a conclusion and just being offended and making a blanket statement does not help your side of the argument. And I think that is what he was trying to highlight here.
Yes, exactly.
Although, again, as I said, I don't know how to completely break this down because the guy that's being interviewed is kind of a jerk.
You tainted your experiment! What's wrong with you? Kind of scientist does that?
if you watch some of his videos. So
that's exactly why I didn't watch his videos. I wasn't interested in who he was as a person. I was interested in the conversation that was going on. It's that sickness. You let it get to you. Man.
Yeah, that makes it a little more difficult to break down rationally.
Because you've brought up the sickness. That it's that shit. It's whatever it is that when you see it, when you go, I'm gonna watch this guy's video, and you see him talk in his video in his natural element, or whatever you want to call it, which is completely separate from the experiment I'm running. But whenever you decide to do this cross experiment with this other video, now you have a personal opinion about him. You've decided to develop a personal opinion about him. Change your experiment. That's why I didn't do that. Because I didn't care about who he was as a person. That wasn't what I was looking at. Maybe someday I'll decide to look into him. Maybe someday I'll talk about what an ass I think he is. Fucking who knows? But that was not the fucking point that I was... Man.
Women.
I was very successful in England, very, very successful, but I noticed that every time I saw a beautiful woman and went to talk to her, where are you from? Oh, Sweden. Oh, Russia.
There's
oh,
no
the
beautiful
Ukraine.
women in the UK.
No, there are.
There's that sickness again. It can't be. There are beautiful women in Britain, but usually whenever I would see a beautiful woman on the streets, I would find out they were foreign. It can't just be that. It has to be, so there's no beautiful women in Britain. There's that sickness.
Now he does have a point there, to completely disregard what this guy is saying and to turn it around and say, oh, so you're saying there's no beautiful women anywhere in Britain. That's not at all what he was saying. He was saying that he didn't personally find the women in the UK attractive. And again, that is his opinion. So that wasn't exactly a rational way to approach the subject. And moreover, I don't understand why they would care so much what some jerk on the internet has to say about anything.
You see it? Did you see the subtle shift right there? She was so rational. He's got a point. That's bullshit. Why would you do that? It makes no sense. He's a jerk. Why would you fucking care what he thinks anyways? That's sickness. Right there at the end, because you changed your experiment. You looked into the guy further. You developed a personal thought on him. And it brought your sickness went, oh, I don't like that guy. And it infected your mind. And now you can't get him out of your head. Whatever it was he said, whatever way he said it, whatever... I'm sure he said it like a dude talking to other dudes, so he probably said it in some snide, fucked up way, I'm sure. But he's not doing that here. So clearly he's a person who believes there's a time and a place for that kind of thing. And when he's a dude talking to dudes, that's, you know, man, it's the way we are. So... I'm really enjoying this. This is a good time, man.
But again, with that, I don't think that that is necessarily highlighting something that is wrong with specifically women. I think that that is just something that angry people do in general.
Exactly. That's part of the sickness. It's that fucking knot of shit in the middle of your stomach that whenever you hear or see something that gets you fucking emotional, and then your emotions take over and shit. Man, god damn it! I'm making one of the biggest fucking points of the whole damn thing. The battery is dying. How long is this video already? This video is gonna take me the rest of my life to edit and post. And there's going to be fucking 5 people that make it this far. And I want to thank every one of you for watching to this point. We're already an hour in, folks. And we're at 15 minutes and 32 seconds out of 41:54. Here we go. Part 2. The second act, if you will. Oh, fuck.
You walk down Oxford Street.
God damn it, I was making a fucking eloquent point. It's the sickness, the fucking that shit inside of you. And then you hear something you don't like, it comes up, it wraps around your fucking brain, and it takes control of you. And every time you open your mouth, it's just fucking sickness that comes out. It's shit that doesn't make any sense. And it's like, what are you even talking about? That's what it is. That's the sickness. And yes, everybody can have it. But it is found most prevalently in women. And it usually comes about in men when they start acting like women who are crazy and sick. Right? I'm not even saying when men act like women. Whatever. I don't give a shit. It's when men act like women that are crazy and sick. That is where the problem is. God damn it. Sorry.
So, you know, you walk down Oxford Street, you see a few beautiful women, many of them are foreign. You walk down the equivalent street in Moscow, it's like, my God, you know, they're everywhere.
Now, I will say that Russian women are very attractive. You know? Just saying. And I will say that many British women that I've seen are not. Many Russian women I've seen are not. I've seen a lot of attractive Russian women. Just throwing that out there.
And none of these points have anything to do with the point at hand, so I don't know.
Well, I am trying to put myself out there a little bit. I mean, come on. Like I said, I'm trying to be entertaining. I'm trying to build an audience. You need to have a relationship with your audience. You need to expose a little bit of yourself. And I'm just saying, you know, Russian chicks are hot.
Do you think there were any other reasons why you weren't particularly successful with British women?
See that? There it is again. You think that possibly the reason why you weren't successful in doing your job, that clearly you do well enough that we have you on the news talking about it.
Okay, so again, not exactly a reputable news source.
So hung up on the word nude. TV! He's on the TV!
But also not a very great argument.
See, and that's where it's like me, you just being willfully ignorant. You know, you got what I was saying enough to understand what I was saying. So why all this? Well, it's not the news. I know!
When you were
I was
looking
very
for
successful,
dates,
like I said.
But you've just said that most of the women that you were attracted to were foreign. So, you know, telling women that you're...
You know what it is? I know what it is. I'm actually doing this edit right fucking now as I'm fucking recording this. I know exactly what it is. It's the fucking ticker at the bottom. I see that ticker at the bottom. I'm so used to seeing that ticker at the bottom on the news because all I ever watch is the news. I see that ticker and my mind says news. So there you go. There's the explanations. Why I thought it was the news. It's not the news. I know it's not the news. It's a sickness. It's a me too. I'm sick.
Potentially going to date that they're entitled, overweight and moan all the time.
I wasn't telling them that at the time, obviously.
May not.
Now she's presuming to think that he would meet a British woman and tell her about how she's entitled and overweight, and that would be his pickup line. Does that sound like maybe she's sick in the head? That maybe her emotions are ruling her thought process to the point that she would think that that is a reasonable question to even ask? You see the sickness?
Again, I would agree that that is a really stupid and poorly executed argument. And not that I would necessarily say that she is sick in the head, but it wasn't very rational and it was very emotional.
See, I'm not saying that you're sick in the head. I'm just saying there's a sickness in us all, and we have to control it very tightly and keep us logically thinking. Because as soon as the sickness takes over, we lose the whole aspect of the argument. That's the problem with it. That's the problem with all of it.
But I would also again argue that that is not something that is exclusive to women. It's just people that are very irrational and emotionally driven.
Yes, and primarily that is women. I'm sorry, it's my observation. Primarily, as I've seen, it's women. that are usually the ones that fly off in irrational, emotional fits. Men are usually more controlled. Like the video yesterday with the little girl and the little boy. The little boy is pushing his shit down. He's controlling himself. Call it what you will. I'm hoping that he's just pushing it down and controlling himself, and he's not letting the sickness take over. You know what I mean? But I also see that he's a very young kid, and it's like, Jesus Christ, is he just fucking stuffing shit down? What? You don't know. I'm not his parent. I'm not there. All I see is that one snippet. I'm just looking at the video I got in front of me. That's why I speculate, and I always say I'm just speculating here. But hopefully he's a good kid. Hopefully he's doing well. I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. He seemed to be able to control himself. He certainly was a hell of a lot more controlled than his sister. Because she was in the full throes of the sickness.
May not be the most successful chat-up line.
It's not one I would recommend, but
No.
it was. This is like a process of my experience. I was in the UK until 2009. Then I travelled a lot. I've been to 60 countries. You know, I went to Brazil. They're very nice. I went to Scandinavia. Denmark's got very beautiful women. But when I went to Russia, I found the whole package: the looks, the character, everything.
Now, that's all he's saying. There's many different people in many different places. Many of them have certain qualities. But in Russia, I found that more women have all of the qualities that I would look for in a woman. And that many guys would look for in a woman. That's all he's saying. That's it. But they don't ever attack that statement. They tell him about how much luck he didn't have with women. Because they have no good answer. Because there is no good answer. Because what he is saying is pretty plausible on the face of it. But you can't address that. You gotta let that sickness do the talking for you.
Again, this is kind of hard to break down because what we're missing here is that video clip that was played before all of this started, which was kind of what spurred on this argument.
Exactly. It's what brings up the sickness in you. That's why I didn't look at it. That's why it is missing. I do everything. Everything I do for a purpose. Everything.
But I think what this love guru is attempting to do is to try and to explain the fact that what he meant was, in his experience for him personally and people that might be attracted to the same type of women that he is. And the problem that he's having in this interview is that nobody is letting him explain that fact, and he is getting verbally attacked from all ends instead of having a critical and rational conversation with these people.
She gets it.
Now, while evidence can back up the fact that women are usually more emotional than men because we have more of those emotional bonds, you know, going back to science and scientific research about women in general, because we need those emotional bonds. We are the caretakers by nature. If you go to the most animalistic instincts between females and males, you know, in general, in science.
Science!
The female has more emotional responses because they're going to be the ones in nature that will be responsible for taking care of the young, which is why women have more of those emotional responses. But as you'll see later on in this interview, this is not something that is exclusive to women.
No. But men know how to control it.
Your mother's English, right?
Yes, she is.
So does she also qualify as unattractive, stupid, entitled and the rest of it, or is she an exception?
Now this is where it gets to be the lesson for the men. So ladies, if you want to put your man in the room, you have him watch this part. Paris has got a white knight for the lasses right here, and it's very sad. It's pitiful, actually. Essentially what he just said is, are you willing to say that your mother is all of these things and insult her on national TV? Or are you going to chicken out and say that you're wrong in what you're saying. How do you win in that situation? You fucking can't. It's a trap question. It should be disregarded entirely. I would go, that's a trap question. I'm disregarding it entirely. And then I would explain to him what I just explained to you.
Now, this is the exact point that I was just attempting to make a moment ago. And I don't think that it falls solely on the fact that he is trying to be a white knight for the lasses, but
I threw out lasses on purpose. I wanted to see if I could bring up the sickness in you. Look at that. Sick you are. Just that sickness, see? That's what I'm saying. You got that little thing in your head where you're like, nah. That's a sickness. There it is.
Do you think that it shows that men and women can both be irrational in certain situations where they...
Bless you, kid.
But I do think that it shows that both men and women can be irrational in certain situations when they let their emotions take over their thinking.
Exactly. Let that sickness rise up in you. Ugh. You gotta stuff it down.
Now, when I took women's studies in college, and
Now, be nice. A lot of things are starting to come clear, aren't they?
if you haven't taken a class, man, woman, what have you, I would suggest looking into it, because although it is titled Women's Studies, it actually studies men, women, races, cultures, things that society has put in place.
Did you hear that? Listen one more time. That was a hard swallow. I think that she understands, maybe subconsciously, maybe right on the surface, but I think she understands that she has just opened a can of worms. And I know exactly what kind of content I'm doing the entirety of next week.
To say that this is the way that a certain race or gender, etc., is supposed to act, and that...
Stereotypes. She's talking about stereotypes here. She paid to go to school to learn about stereotypes. And how people shouldn't try to live and emulate stereotypes. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. I knew a guy once I worked with, and he did everything he possibly could to just absolutely be the black thug stereotype. And I didn't like him very much. He wasn't really a likable person. He was an asshole. Because he was trying so hard to be the black stereotype, like that black thug fucking dick stereotype. And he pulled it off amazingly. And I hate that shit. I hate when people just absolutely decide they're going to be stereotypes. But that's what she's talking about here. She's talking about stereotypes. And all black people are criminals, and all white people are fucking boring and square, and all Asians are good at math. And they all know kung fu. Dude, that's what she's talking about here. All black people can dance, all white people can't. There's stereotypes, man. The fact that you went to school to find out that stereotypes are fucking just stereotypes. Like, please don't take this personal. I'm just kind of talking about the whole class in general, really.
You don't necessarily have to act that way, even though it is put in your head that that is the way that you are supposed to be.
No, nobody's ever saying that that is the way you're supposed to be. They're just saying, here's a stereotype. And stereotypes are there for a reason. Sorry, well, that's fact. Stereotypes are there for a reason. It's called averages. Statistical averages. It's just a goofy, not nice, sometimes very funny way of saying a statistical average. That's all stereotypes are. And if you don't understand that, it's because you take them way too literally, because you take everything way too literally, because you're sick.
And in society, the typical male is supposed to be, manly and rational and, what have you.
Yes, exactly. What have you. We are supposed to be manly and rational because we cannot leave it up to the women to be either of those things. So we got to do it because you know what? Somebody's got to do it. And if you guys won't do it, guess what? I'm going to step in and start doing it because somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to be the rational one. If you'd like to take your turn, I'm more than happy to give it to you. Not you personally. I'm just kind of talking about women in general now. I'm just yelling at women at this point. But you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's our job. That's what we're here to do. And we need to start doing that. We need to start being the rational ones. Every time the sickness comes up, we need to be there to go, hey, did you hear what you just said? Because that didn't make any sense. We need to be there to just do that, to help you guys along through this sickness. It's like when you're helping somebody get off drugs. Somebody has to be there to watch them throw up the whole fucking time because they're sick and they need to get better. It's medicine. It's not going to taste good, but you need to hear it. You need to take your medicine because you're sick.
That isn't always the case. That is a misconception.
No, it isn't. Men are to be manly. That's why it's in the name. That's why women are to be womanly. Or ladylike. These aren't stereotypes. This is biology. You were talking about biology and science? How all of a sudden, if you're talking about biology and science, that women are more emotionally tapped in because of millions of years of evolution, right? It's just our nature and our biology. Well, a man, his biology is saying, be a man. So for you to say, no, you don't have to do that. No. You're trying to speak in favor of one stereotype, one aspect of femininity, and yet you say just manliness. Doesn't have to apply? It does. It does. It does.
So from the perspective of Egocast, he may think that Pierce is doing this because he is, influenced by these women and sticking up for these women, and that's not how a typical male acts, when in fact that is sort of a misconception that is put in place by society, that men are supposed to act this way and women are supposed to act this way. And
thank God, at that school they just pumped your head full of sickness. Oh my gosh. I'll help you. Don't worry. I'll help you. Listen. Pierce is the man in that situation. He's supposed to be the man in that situation, right? He's having a duel of wits with another man. He's got 3 women on his side to help him do that, right? And instead of looking at these women and saying, what does that point have to do with anything? How about this? Let's talk about what your perception, why it is that you have this opinion. What it is in you that made you to the point where you think this certain thing is what is appealing to you. How about we delve into that? How about we talk about maybe did you have a lot of leggy blonde women in your childhood? Let's find the root of the cause. Let's figure out the issue. But no, instead, he buys into the sickness and he lets it take over. And he goes, oh, well, how about you insult all these women on live TV? He does that shit instead. Right? And he's doing it not because he thinks they have amazing points. He knows their points that they're making are stupid. He's doing it because it makes him look better to women. Because that's his audience. He's doing it to pander. He's white knighting. He's not doing it because he's trying to defend them. Because what they're saying is dumb. If he was really trying to help them, really trying to defend them, he would bring their sickness under control with them so that they could have an honest, serious discussion and maybe actually figure something out, as opposed to just sitting there and sniping at the man. It's his job to stay rational. He's the man. That's why we need to do it. We cannot trust 3 of you to do it. Except the one girl. The one girl that's always conspicuously not saying anything through the whole course of this whole thing. I think she gets it. She must be like the conservative on the show, and she must be sitting there the whole time going, well, I'm hot, so if I talk, this could be bad. But, I don't know. Just saying.
You know, that just isn't the case, and I think that those stereotypes and those societal pressures are very damaging for everyone.
But look at what happens when you don't adhere to those societal pressures. When the man decides I'm not going to be the man, there's nobody to be rational. Because he has decided I don't care anymore. I'm just going to go fucking sick like everybody else. Why not? Let's just dive into the dumpster and root around for a while. That's why there needs to be somebody there to be the man. Because you women can't help but be sick. Because you're so tapped in emotionally. You get it. I know you get it. I know you do.
No, but she lives out there with me and she agrees.
Your mother agrees that all English women are awful, even though she's an English woman?
No, she agrees that they're better out there.
Right.
She says they're lovely, honest people, kind, and there's beautiful women everywhere.
Right. I think you're just peddling, like, a really dangerous, like, stereotypical view of beauty.
A dangerous stereotypical view of beauty. Oh, be careful, ladies. If you're stereotypically beautiful, it could be dangerous.
I would have to agree that it is dangerous as a, I guess, self-proclaimed expert in dating if you would perpetuate the notion that the women in Russia are the stereotypical beauties and the rest of the women fall short of that. That is a damaging statement to make as far as women in society. But
says sickness. Listen, you just did exactly what the women did in the video. This is medicine. You gotta take it. Just close your nose, open up, and take it. You just did the same thing. He never said that. He never said that the only place you can find the stereotypical beauty is in Russia, and everybody else is not that. He never said that. What you just said there, he didn't say. You just did it. The sickness.
Again, this is just the opinion of this guy that I don't even know.
Exactly. You weave in and out of it. And that's the thing. Like the sickness rears up and then you come back rational. And then the sickness rears up and you come back rational. You need to try and smooth that to a more even keel. That's all I'm saying.
And I know in my experience, people are attracted to other people for a variety of reasons, and it's not so black and white. Oh, if you're a man and you're attracted to women, then you will find them in Russia.
That is exactly, almost verbatim, the point that he and then I will later go on to make. I just want to make sure you understand that. You just made, of your own volition, the exact same point that both he and I will make later on.
I might get her one of those, you can take it.
That's a kind of ridiculous statement to make, and I think that as far as people that may look up to this man as a, a womanizer, somebody that's successful in dating, it could be potential.
A womanizer. What makes him a womanizer? Just because he's successful in dating? That makes him a womanizer? Perhaps he's looking for the right girl. And he dates a lot of women because he really wants to find the right girl. Or maybe it's because that's his job. To travel the world and try and date women so that he can figure out the best way in which to do that. So that he can relay that message to the people that are attempting to ascribe to his philosophy because they also want to find the right woman for them. What about that makes him a womanizer? Because he's doing field research? Because he's working? It's his job.
Potentially damaging to the person that is watching them because they may miss out on somebody that they really like while they're trying to find this quote-unquote perfect person that may or may not be Russian.
Now look, man, I say there's a lot of women that give up on a lot of really good guys because maybe they're not attractive enough, or maybe they don't have enough money, or maybe this, that, or the other thing. Maybe they don't drive the right kind of car, or maybe they just, I don't know, they don't like the whatever of them. But they could be a really good partner for them. But if you don't want to be with somebody, you're not going to be with them. Like, so if there's somebody that somebody really likes, I would imagine they're not going to be looking at a dating guru because they're going to have somebody that they really like. Now, I know that's nitpicking on your semantics. You said somebody that they like. Maybe you just meant somebody that likes them. I don't know. But no matter what, if you like somebody and they don't like you, it ain't going to happen. You can try and coerce them into it, but most feminists would say that that's wrong. So what do? Right? So, but these guys are looking for a way to figure out how to get what they want out of life. How dare you shit on them for that?
That is just so damaging for women and men.
Complain to Victoria's Secret. You know, if you like those kind of women, then that's what you'll find in Russia. If you don't like that kind of women, then of course
Right there is where he just did it.
I might go to one of those.
See, for instance, one of my friends, he likes a thicker lass. See there where I threw in lass again? I said thicker lass, right? And drew it out. It's because I'm trying to poke at your sickness. See if I can rustle that monster. I do not share that point of view. So, you know, and I would honestly say that really amongst all of my friends, I don't think any of us have even, well, somewhat similar in some cases, but honestly, we all kind of have different preference in what we like in a girl. So, you know, I don't know, but if you like that certain type of girl, apparently she's in Russia. So, hey, what are you going to do? That's all he's saying. That's exactly what he said. That's where I did it. Where I said the exact same thing that he said. It's the exact same thing. You know?
And again, I think that might be what he is attempting to say, but I don't see where that it strengthens or weakens the point of this video about the sickness. I mean, other than the fact that they aren't letting him speak very much in this interview, but again, I don't think that this particular interview would have been the one that I would have chosen to make this kind of point.
Because you went and did the thing where you fouled your experiment. You went and watched his other videos. That's why you think it's a bad video to review, because you ruined the experiment.
And I meet guys that have all kinds of different tastes, right? I meet guys that have tastes that don't coincide with mine at all, and that's fine. But for guys that, like that stereotypical beautiful woman, that's where you will find it.
Profiling.
Do you hear him just make the same point again?
People by where they come from. Do you?
I have concern about that. I have a concern about the fact that you think all British women are overweight.
Says the lady. Then honestly, I can't stop staring at her little paunch every time it goes to that wide shot of her. I mean, come on, let's just be realistic here. Like, that's kind of a ridiculous statement. Now, I threw that out there with intent. Again, to rustle your monster and see if I can bring that sickness up. Let's see if she took the bait.
Let's just be realistic here. If you're trying to make a video that you are attempting to talk to women in, body shaming a woman is probably not going to help you get your point across. Just saying.
Look, I'm not here to hold your hand and boobly you through this, right? I'm giving you medicine. I'm trying to fix you. You're sick. And you will not listen to reason unless you're beginning to agree with me about these people when they're sick. I need to point this out to you. And I'm not going to be nice about it. Because everybody's nice to you about everything else. And I'm not doing that here. I am not contributing to your sickness.
Not all, obviously.
I mean, actually, more British, statistically, if we're talking about the obesity problem in the UK, which is a slightly different debate, but actually more British men are overweight.
Well, Richard,
Just for 1 second here, I have to point out the fact that I really hate when somebody's making an argument and, I mean, clearly she is irritated, but I hate when somebody is trying to talk and they get mad that they talk to this guy and nobody at all. That... That is just one of my little pet peeves, but moving on.
Did you feel it? Did you see it? Did you hear that? We just hit that point. Valeda, we just hit that point. Right now, we're both pointing and laughing at the crazy bitches. I got you. I got you with me. We're both going, look at those crazy bitches. And I'm not going to ruin it now. I will ruin it later. I'm very, very sorry. But, like I said, you knew it was coming. But we're here. Like, and that's good. We're at that point. Let's not lose sight of the moment we're having right now. See, it isn't actually in any way a similar debate. It's actually completely different because now you're just bringing men into it, and we're not talking about men, are we? We're talking about women in Britain and women in Russia. So it has balls to do with the discussion, but you can't help yourself but to try and bring men into it and say, well, men are no better. Yeah, oh yeah, well, you know, he's not talking about that. Why are you? Because you're sick.
I mean, at least at this point, she is trying to bring up something statistics-based, but I don't think it has much to do with the argument, but at this point, I don't think that it has much to do with any of the arguments other than the fact that it is a, I guess, diversion and redirect.
It's that sickness! That's the point of my argument! Damn it! She's so close so many times. She's got it. And then, yeah, that's what I'm saying. She weaves in and out of it. She gets sick and then she gets better. And then she gets sick and then she gets better. It's an amazing thing to watch.
There are 3 English women here. Are they all fat, entitled, stupid? I mean,
I don't know them.
What's your view of the women?
You don't know them.
See, again, are you willing to insult the 3 female hosts, or the female host, co-host, and the guests? Man, are you willing to insult all of these women on live TV, or recant and say that you're wrong? It's just like, how does anybody even take that seriously? Really?
Well, Richard, just cast your expert eye over the women at this desk, for example.
I think that would be rude. I'd like to.
Let's hear you be brutally honest.
Yeah, let's just do it. Why not? Well, let's just sit here and insult all the women. I'll point at her gut hanging out and I'll say some shit how she's old and she's and quiet, which is awesome. Like, really? You think I'm going to do that on live TV? Come the on, man!
I would just like to take this moment to point out that the person that he is currently complaining about is a male anchor,
being sick!
So, yeah.
Yeah!
Well, I don't want to be baited into insulting. I've got 3 women. I've got respect for the women.
You've got no respect for English women.
Pierce, you have no respect for English women. Why would you want him to insult them on live TV so vehemently that now you're calling him a coward for not doing it? What's wrong with you, sir? I adore her. I absolutely adore her. I honestly, if I can cure her, I could die a happy man. Just if I can save one life.
That's the whole point.
I'm generalising.
You have zero respect for English women. You are a repulsive individual.
I've got respect for many
come on here,
British women.
and when you're
There are
actually
many
confronted,
talented,
when you're
beautiful
actually
British
confronted
women.
by smart, intelligent, beautiful women, you can't deal with them, can you?
See, this doesn't get you laid. He's dealing with them just fine. They're going ape shit. He's very much in control. He's relaxed this whole interview. Like, there's some tense moments where he's very nervous because he's like, oh my god, they're fucking out of me. Like, but come on, man. Like, he's got his shit together. What are you? You're screaming, dude. This white knight shit, man, it doesn't work. It doesn't get you. Like, whatever. Pierce, I imagine Pierce is married and whatnot. But I'm just saying, this kind of shit for you men, this behavior, you're encouraging the sickness. You're helping it spread. You need to stop that. Like, it's not cringe, the language. I'm not cringing because of the language. I mean, I talk like I talk. What are you going to do? But it's I know how much time that took to edit, and I feel so bad.
White knighting is men that want to come in and rescue women, and I don't think that these women need any rescuing, and I would disagree. I don't think that that is what is happening. I think that Pierce is just as irrational as everyone else around him, and I would venture to say that if I looked for clips, I could find something to back that theory up. I don't know for a fact, but I mean, you guys can go ahead and look into it. I would just put my money on that.
I don't know what kind of bet you're trying to make. I don't understand what kind of clips you're looking for. Are you looking for clips of me being irrational? Are you looking for other clips of Pierce being irrational? I'm sure there's other clips of Pierce being irrational, but that's the thing. It's the sickness. That's what I'm talking about. It's that fucking shit. And he's being sick. You know? So, but he's worse than the rest of them. Because he's not fully in the throes of it. He's pretending to be sick. He's very calculated in what he's saying. He's trying to trap the guy. They're just throwing out every random thought that comes into their head. It's just brain to mouth, and fucking why bother to look at it in between? Just skip the eyes completely. He is very calculated in what he's saying. He's trying to do something with a purpose. And that's why he's white knighting. He is coming in to say them. They're blathering nonsense, and he's trying to trap the dude so that he can make him look bad before they look any worse. You've tainted your project. You're not looking at it with enough of an analytical eye.
Of course I can. I'm dealing with
Well, go
everyone.
on, then say what you want to say.
I don't
to
want
their
to.
faces.
I want to tell you that the women are more beautiful in Russia.
Right.
Shock, you know, and they're very nice. They're great, honest,
So they
intelligent
don't tell
women.
you that you're an idiot for thinking those things. Is that what you call nice?
Who's they?
Did you hear that right there? Oh, I'm so pissed I didn't fucking catch this before. I'm very sorry. Right there. That was him trying to control her sickness. She said some random ass shit. So you're saying that if they say to you that you're an idiot, that that's them being nice? And he's like, who's they? Like, what the fuck are you even talking about? But she doesn't think to herself, oh my god, I'm being sick. I need to fucking not go down this train of thought because that makes no fucking sense. What did I even just say? She doesn't do that shit. She continues with the sickness, but he tried. He tried to help her. What the fuck are you talking about? That was her cue to think about what she was saying. It's a brilliant example.
What Russian women
Do you speak
don't
Russian?
tell you.
Yeah,
You do, fluent Russian.
ish.
So they can't really understand a word you're saying, can they?
See, now we're assuming that these Russian women are telling him what an idiot they think he is. And we're assuming that he can't speak Russian, so he can't understand anything they're saying anyway, so no wonder he gets so much Russian. Like, huh?
Did your wife even know what you were saying when you seduced her?
She speaks perfect English, and I speak very good Russian.
Right. Do you?
Yeah.
Go on then.
Я говорю по-русски, моя жена стоит там.
What's that? My name is Dick and I want to marry you. Is that it?
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
Again, I would say that this proves that very emotional, rational people act very emotional and irrational.
You get it.
Who are the men that you're helping who currently, these hugely attractive men who are highly intelligent and want to have successful, committed relationships? How come these incredible men are not finding women here in the UK?
Because apparently, on average, they're fat and unattractive.
I'm a dating coach. I've been doing it for 11 years. I've got successful companies, turned over $50 million. We've got 1 million website visitors a month. These guys are listening to me. They want my advice, and a lot of them are very unsatisfied. And the guys that have come and visited me in Eastern Europe, in Russia, are like, wow, you know, this is like a breath of fresh air.
Man seems to have credentials. I don't know.
As I said, many men are going to be really happy with English women. That's great.
Can I just
For
say...
the men that are unsatisfied, they can listen to me, they can take my advice, and they might end up very, very happy. That's my job.
I think...
That's another time that he made the exact same point. Just saying.
I think, like, you're suggesting that there's a cheat's way to being confident and right with yourself.
Now it's a cheat's way of being confident and right with yourself. Not a way to find attractive women that have good personality. Which is what he's actually saying, but again, she's listening to the movie in her head that she's directing, and you see it? Sickness.
And that cheat's way is to just move abroad. And in order to be, like, available in a relationship, you just have to do the hard work to feel right with yourself and be able to, like, show love to people and receive love.
Again, where is she talking to? I don't get that, but anyway.
All right, we had our moment already, and all good things must come to an end. I gotta do it to you. It's a stretch, but still made me giggle.
The sickness.
So who are you talking to?
I am like over half an hour into this video, and there is more. If you want to see it, you can pull up the entire conversation, podcast, what have you.
Thanks for the plug.
But I think that I am done trying to analyze this video, and I'm just going to try to give like a final thought on it.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Great, that awesome.
Look, I understand the point that you're trying to make, that these women are being irrational. They are totally missing the point. They are interrupting. They're escalating. And
being sick.
That is all evident. And I agree that by the basis of nature, that women can be more emotional than men. It's in the female genetic makeup on a very animalistic, scientific basis.
And men gotta be men on the same basis.
But I would argue that this is not exclusive to women. It happens in men as well.
When they get sick.
And I do understand the point of this video. I don't think that he is trying to be malicious in any way.
And I hope that you continue to still think that I'm not trying to be malicious in any way. I'm just kind of fucking with you a little bit on a lot of it. But you had some very good points. And they needed to be quickly stomped out because you're sick.
In making this video, I just don't think that the point that he was trying to make comes across in the way that he is trying to explain it. And the video was slightly hard to follow along with because it was...
God damn it.
long, and I don't think that the example that was presented was the best case in point for this scenario.
I wholeheartedly disagree.
To me, instead of just an exclusively woman thing, which I will admit that towards the end of the video, he does say that it's not exclusively to women, that men do it too, but it is all women. I would say that it is not all women.
I disagree.
Some of us have the ability, even though we may have, you know, some kind of thoughts like that, maybe not all of us do, but we do have the ability to be rational and to talk through situations and not escalate. It's not blanketed over all women.
See that? There's that shit again. You're doing the same thing they did in the video. Remember those crazy bitches? We had that moment where we were both laughing at the crazy bitches, and you're doing the same thing again. I never said at any point that women don't have the capacity to be rational. What I'm saying is, more often than not, you guys succumb to the sickness. Why you would say that I said that? I never said that. Not once. Not once did I ever say that you don't have the capacity for rationality. You absolutely do. I just wish you'd employ it more often. Men can do it too. So I would say that if you would see a person being irrational or escalating, maybe it would be in your best interest. Tell them to stop being sick.
To try to educate them on that and to, you know, help them to not jump to a conclusion and to not trample an argument and to be constructive and to, you know, sit down and have a conversation.
Exactly. Yes. Stop being sick. I'm just saying that in a quicker way.
Now, after this video went up, I did go to the channel, I looked at a few more videos.
Oh shit, here we go.
And there was one after this that I think may display a better point, and...
Huh. I actually wonder what that would be at this point. I don't know, it's probably the way to cure the sickness. I don't know. That's what I can think. I don't think it's the hate speech leg. I don't think she's going to talk about the hate speech leg. Alright, I'm really excited for it, whatever it is. This has been fun. It's been challenging. It's been very challenging.
If I can get to it, I would like to also comment on that, because I think that it has some better things pointed out in it.
I'm telling you, man, that right there is a rare bird. It's a woman with a rational mind. Oh, just gotta even that cue.
But for now, I'm gonna go. You can watch all of these videos, you know, at length in your free time if you choose to.
Holla!
But I'm gonna end this one here. Like, comment, subscribe. If there's anything else that you would like me to watch and talk about, please either comment below or, you know, send it to me on my Twitter.
Just throwing this out there, I follow everybody that follows me on Twitter. And I've already followed you.
I will watch it and do my best. I always love to hear from you guys, and I love a challenge, and this one was a little challenging, so it was pretty...
A little challenging, huh? How challenging was this one?